My name is Joyce McCray. I'm the daughter of Alicia Greenwood and George Wright. I was born in Harlem, New York, 2552 8th Avenue. Due to the fact that my mother became a single parent of four, we lived in Lower Manhattan. And I went to school there at St. Francis Xavier Parochial School, and also high school. I went to Textile High, which is now Bayard Ruskin High. Young years were not as pleasant as not good memories. I had continuous molestations and various things that really destroyed any good memories of my childhood. But I realized through all of this that maybe I could in some way make life better for the future for other people. I worked in a telephone company from 1948 to 1950 as a clerk. After graduating from high school, coming home, I was on the honor roll and intern, doing homework. Then I had a very strict mother, so therefore I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things. We never went to the zoo. We never went anywhere. No, I wasn't allowed. My mother didn't allow me to associate with anyone around because she was very, I can't say strange, but we moved from one block where I had friends, and this is just 2 blocks away, and I wasn't allowed to go near those people. They were no good. She always said that. So I'm telling the truth. So I don't remember going to even the museum or anywhere. I didn't see the Empire State Building. I had an uneventful childhood in the sense that my mother could not take us to various places of interest like the museum. Although we lived very close by, I lived on 16th Street, and the Empire State was on 34th, but I didn't see that until I became an adult. Now, after graduating from high school, I got a job in a telephone company, worked there for 2 years, and I was married from 1947 to one individual who was very abusive, and I had one daughter from that union. I was divorced soon after, and then I met a very nice person who I married, and had 3 children, and then I started becoming very active and doing some of the things I didn't do in my childhood. I took my children and to different places, and my grandchildren, Joyce, Diana, Alan, and Janine. We would go away each summer to Cape Cod on vacation. We had a nice time. We always would go to Hyannis and various places, and we enjoyed those 2 weeks or the week that we would go. And we stayed in Jamaica for 9 years, and we lived on Fox Boulevard. And then we moved to a larger house out on Long Island. There they were having an integration problem with the schools, and I immediately became very active in that, and protesting and going to work in campaigning and doing various volunteer works. I was arrested for sitting in, but the result of that was excellent because I saw in my children the improvement in the school once we closed the one that was given very poor education to our black students. And in turn, I had a very good life. I didn't work for 20 years. I had a very nice husband. He was very attentive to the children and was a good homemaker. And I think I destroyed that part of my life by drinking. And then we were divorced. And my younger daughter, one day looked at me and said, I don't know if she remembers, I don't like the idea of you drinking. And that was 32 years ago. And I took all the bottles and threw them away and never drank another thing, not even a beer or anything like that. And I'm very happy about that because that would have been my downfall. Yes. Oh, yeah. In 1972, 1970, I started working after 20 years of being at home and raising my children, and who came out very respectable and very well. So thank God that I had that opportunity of being there when they really needed me. And then in 1970, my husband lost his job, so I went to work at Avis, and I was there supposed to be there for one day, but because of my work, they hired me. And then an opportunity came up to go to LPN school in BOCES, and I went there. We had a 9-month crash course, and I was president of the class, and I also received the Outstanding Student Award. And I went into nursing in the hospital, and I really enjoyed my work, although I didn't like the things I saw because of the illnesses of people. After 8 years, I also went to a nursing home, which I worked there for 23 years, and I enjoyed senior people. I also knew I was looking in the mirror when I worked with them, and sure enough, today I am in that position of being a senior. And at the present time, I am president of the Senior Club of Lakeview, and we make trips. We are now, next week, we're going to a pre-Thanksgiving luncheon. We have sales. We had a luncheon last year and raffled off different things. And we play bingo. And I have also enjoyed the opportunity to see my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and I also had the opportunity last year to see my great-grandchild, which I received 2 pictures of her on my phone yesterday. And realistically, in looking back, we all make mistakes, but I learned from the many ones I might have made. And I enjoy my family. I'm glad I have the opportunity to be around them. And I know that I had a serious illness this year, but because of the great treatment I received and how my children, and especially my younger daughter, always make sure that I get to the places I'm supposed to, get to my doctor's appointments. Life is much more pleasant than somebody else may be in my shoes, better than sometimes somebody else may be in my shoes. I'm 84 years old, and I still drive, but my daughter doesn't let me drive too far. I'm a babysit for my little doggy. I babysit for my little Yorkie, who's adorable, and in turn, we have fun together. She greets me like I'm the President of the United States. Yeah. I decided that I had to figure out why so many people sometimes lament about pain. It's because they let the pain control them. I made up my mind that I would control the pain and never give in to it, and I would not let it be, even though it's in my body, not to overtake me, wherein I would lay in bed or do things that some of these people do, which makes them sicker. Because I control my body, I make sure I get up, get out, drive, and everybody says, "You don't look so 84." I don't know who predicts how a person should look, but I certainly don't do anything but do the right thing inside your heart, and it reflects on the outside. I love to knit. I made so many baby clothes. I have wonderful son-in-laws. That's unbelievable to really have a nice, usually mother-in-laws are defined as negatively, but I'm sure that my son-in-law would never define me as that to my face. I enjoy, in order to keep my mind active, I enjoy doing crossword puzzles, and make sure I do one every day. I check Facebook. I am on Facebook, and I see messages from youngsters I used to know when they were 9 and 10 years old, and now they're in their 50s. And also, I see from my family in North Carolina and my daughter here, but they're all on it. And I enjoy reading some of the things they wrote. This year, I went to Lakeview Day in Hempstead State Park, which we live surrounded by the park. And in turn, I had a very nice time. Everybody was very glad to see me. Everybody was very glad to see me, and I really enjoyed seeing all the youngsters. It's unbelievable how lived in this neighborhood 50 years, and I knew some of them when they were 9 and 10, and now they're going into their senior years. And I enjoy baking and cooking. And well, now I don't have to do it. I'm at home. I'm in the same house I moved 50 years ago. Right, and even though I'm a retired nurse, I keep up with the journals that my daughter, who is a nurse, receives. And each one of my youngsters have gone to college and further their education. And my youngest daughter is a nurse. When I was ill, I was there. And I was treated just like a queen, which made, as I said, my stay at the hospital so much easier than if I was at a strange place. I'm glad I recovered, and I do try and obey what the doctor says. And this is the first time Nala has stayed in my laps on my arm so long. Yes, I hope that this information regarding my life reaches all generations to come, and I hope it's adequate enough information. Yeah, you're statistic-wise, you're on the way to doing the last things you might do in life. I try and as I said, each day I make sure I do a crossword puzzle. I try and get out. I like to play some lotto. I like to go to casinos once in a while. And as far as productive, I think that I did a lot of traveling. I've been to most of the Caribbean islands. So therefore, I think sometimes I feel bad because I remember how I was years ago, very active, could run up the stairs and all. And when you can't do that, it makes you remember and makes you. That's the only thing I feel bad about. The best things that happened in my life was the birth of my children, and the saddest thing was the death of my son. I try and keep active every day, although sometimes it's hard because of leg problems, but I try not to think about it. And I enjoy coming and taking care of, and watching the little doggie. And yeah, that's interesting.